Hey, alright. It's working now.
Hello everyone, good morning, good evening, good day, and good time zone to you all, and welcome back to our second of 3 live streams to go ahead and talk about what's going to be coming with Destiny 2 Into the Light on April 9th. As a reminder, everything you're about to see is available to all players, just as was everything last week when we went ahead and had a chance to go ahead and walk through Onslaught. Now, today we've obviously got a few topics that we touched on last week. We got a new social space to go ahead and check out. We're going to look at some rewards, obviously, and maybe an up-close and personal look at the Brave Arsenal. But of course, I'm not the only one who's going to be talking through it. I'm joined by an all-star cast of folks here from the Bungie development team, and I'm going to go ahead and go on down the line and introduce them. If you were here last week, you obviously recognize his face, but Tom Farnsworth, Senior Design Lead, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, yeah. And a little bit about myself here. I've been at Bungie for about 12 years, maybe a little longer. It's been a while.
A decade plus.
And obviously there's some stuff we're going to be looking at today that's kind of like full circle.
Yeah.
You know, the Space Tiger logo and the light there from the early days of Destiny. And I've been fortunate to, I was able to place the Kavastov way back in Cosmo for y'all to pick up.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, that was something. Obviously, it was
foundation.
Teams are stronger than heroes is a big team effort, but there's a few things that I'm really had a chance to work and proud to interact with players. And then there's some things I'm a little more infamous for, like placing the drop pods and Homecoming.
So follow him on Twitter, let him know how you thought about that, right?
And then over the past few years, I've been working on seasons and things like the 30th and Into the Light as a creative lead.
Awesome. Very cool. Thank you very much for your hard work. As someone who's played a lot of it, excited to go ahead and dive in more with even more of it today. And of course, also we're joined by Chris Proctor, Senior Design Lead here at Bungie. Chris, for the fine folks at home who may not have heard you on a podcast or know anything about you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do here at Bungie?
Yeah, Andy, thanks. Yeah, I joined Bungie 4.5 years ago as weapons feature lead for Destiny 2. So a bunch of Destiny releases. This will be my 17th with Into the Light.
That all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going through like a bunch of greatest hits.
Yeah, yeah, it's going to be cool. We obviously have a lot of stuff to talk through with the Brave Arsenal today, and greatest hits, I think, is probably the best way to describe it. And of course, last but very not least, down at the end, the one and only Kelsey Rice, systems designer here at Bungie. Kelsey, how you doing today?
Hello, I'm doing great.
All right, well, obviously the third verse, same as the second and the first. For the folks at home who may not know you or know anything about your work, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do here at Bungie?
Yes, I'd love to. First, yes, I'm a systems designer at Bungie. I've been here for about 2.5 years, and I work on a lot of fun stuff like quests and pursuits and progressions, a lot of like spreadsheet design, which I really love.
The fabric that holds all of our adventures together, honestly.
Yes.
Very exciting. Well, obviously you've had a big hand in Into the Light as well today. We're going to go ahead and dive into that here in just a bit. But before we go ahead and dive on, is there anything you guys are excited about today in particular, or should we just go ahead and show rather than just tell? What do you think? Show it is. All right, let's go ahead and dive on in.
Hopefully show.
Dive on in, rather. So we're going to start off. We have a brand new social space, the Hall of Champions, that we're going to go ahead and check on out. Kelsey, Kelsey's the one who's responsible for taking us through that. So shall you return to the throne world, obviously, and dive on in?
Bring me your tithes.
Perfect. Excellent. That's right. There are tithes to be gathered. Now, while we're on the way, Tom, the Hall of Champions is a brand new social space here in Destiny 2. Where is this? Where are we going to, where's this place been? Why are we checking it out now?
So Shax has carved out just a little bit of the backstage of the tower. Yeah. And you're going to see a few little fun nods here to Destiny history.
Yep. All right, well, now on screen.
Yeah, we've got Kelsey on screen here. We got SweepyBot, and this is actually the lead up to the Hall of Champions.
This is where they keep it all the time.
Yeah, this is where there's an off season for a lot of the holiday events.
Yeah, little pile of snow.
And a little snow there. There's some greenery.
This is interesting. All right, so we found a bit of the storage room to a degree. So he's carved out space maybe that has been hiding in plain view potentially for other sweeper bots or red jacks around the tower.
And there's some stuff from the Onslaught, this ADU.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Little
Noah put it here himself.
Yep. No, and all this space if we just take a step forward, there we go. Here's the champions.
Here's the Hall of
Jesus.
Champions. All right, so this is the Hall of Champions.
And just like Zur kind of carved out Eternity for the 30th anniversary, Shaxx has kind of set this space aside for us. And
They're actually going pretty big on this.
Armor, your weapons, your rewards. This is going to be your home base for Into the Light.
Excellent. Awesome. All right. Well, Kelsey,
Quite impressive.
Go ahead and show us a little bit. We're going to go ahead and walk up here. We see a whole bevy of chests, actually. Let's go ahead and start there. What are we looking at, and how do we go ahead and start cracking these open, rather?
Yeah, so as you can see, this space is just full of chests. As you can see here, all the class icons on the floor. A little bit like 30th. You can come here to redeem this currency, trophies of bravery, that you're going to earn from completing Onslaught and from playing the broad game in Destiny. So all of these trophies here, if you progress your hype with Shaxx, you'll be able to spend them here at all these chests to get a really cool set of armor. I can pull open my character so you can see what that looks like on the Hunter.
That's right. Also, too, so for the folks at home, we went ahead and mentioned this as well online, but as a quick reminder, this is actually an armor set that's inspired by Year 1 of Destiny 2. Tom, this is the parade armor set, I believe is what we're referring to it as?
So, like, it's the D2 Year 1 parade armor.
That's right, yeah.
You had it in Homecoming. It's kind of a classic set. We're, again, like, full circle here. We were, like, beginning the Destiny 2 saga there, and now we're kind of...
I don't know.
ending
Not
the
really
fight
my
here.
thing,
We're
but
getting ready to take the fight to the Witness, and Shaxx has got this iconic set of armor. We're calling it the Parade Armor 2.0.
Yeah.
And everyone can earn it. It's available to all players. And there's some other cosmetics we can show off here that kind of play with it too.
Very nice. And also too, for folks out there, we have the Hunter here. Actually, Kelsey, can we check out the armor set one more time?
Yeah.
The folks at home. Also too, so this is an up close and personal look, obviously, at this armor set, which will be available to everyone that goes ahead and jumps into the Light. Also too, there's a Titan set and a Warlock set, we should also say. That you can go ahead and see in the key art as well, but obviously this will be arriving on April 9th, so you'll get a chance to go ahead and go hands-on. But yeah, it's looking fresh, honestly. I wouldn't be upset to go ahead and don that armor. Oh boy, and
it's
there's
really
some
interesting.
yeah, the boots are not my thing. I don't know.
We're
It's
working on all
kinda
this stuff because we're kind of waiting to finally see that set, and finally being able to equip it in game was just such a cool experience.
Yeah, honestly. All right, so we're obviously equipped. We've got an armor set that we're going to go ahead and be chasing down, but we're now hanging out with Shaxx, and is that our site over there as well?
Yes, that is our site. And one last chest I want to point out here.
Oh,
too.
please.
This one is going to be your hub for just grinding out weapons. So those trophies that you'll be collecting with Shaxx, you can just keep redeeming them here, and you'll be able to get all your guns here. And this one here is we're bringing back the Gift of the Thunder Gods. So if you need to catch up on your power level to make sure that you're like ready to hop right in, that's something you can do as well.
That's right, and honestly, it's again, as a reminder, this is available to all players, and so if you've got any friends that maybe aren't quite at that powerful cap, also too, actually, should double check, this will bring folks up to the powerful cap, was it?
Powerful, not pinnacle.
That's right, okay, perfect, all right.
Powerful,
so
not
your friends that want to
pinnacle.
go ahead and dive in right alongside you, even if they maybe haven't played, very much recently, they got a chance to go ahead and just catch right up.
They'll be ready.
Be ready for day one, that's right.
It's
Okay,
not too
perfect.
bad, but
So let's go ahead and talk to Shaxx, actually, the starting point. So how are we going to be working with Shaxx, obviously? He's opened up his Den of Antiquities to us, but Kelsey, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so we need to pull out all the stops in defeating the Witness. So Shaxx has opened up his brave arsenal for us. And as you can see, Shaxx is really like the shining star of this area. I've been kind of panning by all these hollow Shaxxes that line the space, which I'll be happy to talk about in a moment.
Oh yes.
But yeah, let's go talk to him and see what he's got. So over the course of Into the Light, as you earn reputation with him, you're going to be able to progress and get all this cool stuff. One thing in particular I want to point out.
standard.
Interesting.
This key.
A super black key. Is that what I'm seeing over there, Kelsey?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and I wonder where that goes.
So maybe people that are D1 vets potentially from back in the day might remember this. Is this what's this symbiote we're looking back at?
It's just like Black Heart.
Yeah, right now it's pretty powerful. It's in containment, but if you keep playing Into the Light, you'll be able to get access to the keys you need to unlock this. In get access to the shader.
Oh, it's so good. All right.
Hmm.
So obviously, too, yes, as a reminder, heads up to everyone. So one of the ultimate rewards available through this will indeed be the return of the Super Black shader.
The Super
It's
Black
back,
shader.
Finally, it's back. There's probably some song lyrics to go along with that.
I don't
couldn't
even
tell you what
remember
they
the
are,
Super Black
but I will
shader.
say to the Destiny Fashion subreddit, we are prepared for you to go ahead and take this on wholesale. So actually, let's go ahead and take a look.
Maybe
Let's
it's
go ahead
been
and
too long.
Super Black and give it a look really quickly. Oh man. Chat, how do you feel? Come on. It does not get much better than that. Excellent. All right.
Yeah.
So Shax is obviously going to be there to help us get rewards. In addition to the Brave Arsenal and the armor, Super Black is waiting for us. So tell us a little bit about Arsight as well, actually. I'm not sure if many people in the chat know about him. He's usually lived in lore entries, but let's go ahead and get a look and see what we're going to be working with him on.
Yeah. So our site has a lot of quests for us, and we did some pretty interesting things, in my opinion, with some of the quests you can pick up from our site.
This is
we're
going to be
unlock
like
a
the
couple
30th
things. I also
anniversary
have
all over
very
again.
fun
I'm going to be
ones
grinding
that
my
a lot of
ass
people are
off
working on.
for like 5 days straight.
So
20,
for
like
every
16
single
hours a
weapon that
day,
we're gonna be
just to get the
unlocking, there's a
like
quest. Once you've
the
completed
rewards that are
quest for
deep
that
in there.
weapon, you're going to be able to unlock access to that weapon dropping as rewards. But there's two other really
Complete
cool
one of the
things
following, yep.
that we can talk about there. One, we have these special limited edition appearances for the Brave Arsenal.
Yeah.
So completing these quests, you're going to get a guaranteed, curated copy of these limited edition weapons.
Excellent.
Which I'm happy to show because they look rad. And you'll unlock attunement, which is something I can talk about in a second.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's take a look at some of these.
So here's a look, of course. Obviously, for the folks at home, they may remember this one. I get a hunch that chat obviously is getting a little excited, but I know it's so exciting. The mountaintop has returned. So this is a quick look at the mountaintop. Obviously, Chris, we're going to dive in more with the whole Brave Arsenal in a little bit, but this is, I believe she touched on the limited edition versions of these, the ornaments that exist on there. Can you tell us a little bit about what the limited edition variants of these are that are available over the course of Into the Light?
Sure, yeah. So the Brave Arsenal weapons will drop from Onslaught, and we're talking a little bit about attunement and whatnot here. There is a low chance that one will drop as a limited edition variant, which comes pre-equipped with a super shiny ornament that's locked to that weapon.
Yeah.
So the Edge Transit here is the limited edition variant. These are kind of exotic levels of fancy.
Yeah.
So you can't apply shaders to the ornaments, you have to remove the ornament first.
Got it.
The ornaments will only be available up until the final shape launches.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Limited edition variants.
Makes sense.
So the base versions will continue to be available.
So if you want to get all
So
these,
it's
you
the
got to get them
ultimate I
before
was
the
there
final shape.
version.
You got to get
There's
them
no
now.
edition on there, but other than that, after the final shape launches, people will still be able to get.
You got to
these
play,
weapons
play,
far
play.
from them.
Yeah.
Grind, grind, grind.
Like they have super cool visuals. They drop with double perks in both trait columns, but they don't have any other gameplay differences. So if you've got a great base weapon, you don't need to go and get
Just cosmetic.
cosmetic only.
Fair enough. Makes sense. Absolutely. All right, we're going to be able to test these out in a little bit. So, obviously, we're going to go through all of these here in just a bit. Chat, there's a taste of just a few. We're glad that you get a chance to go ahead and check it out. But also, too, for the folks that want to go ahead and farm these rolls out. Kelsey, I believe you just mentioned attunement. Can you tell us a little bit more about that before we move on?
Yes, I'd love to. So one cool thing that you can do when completing these weapon quests, once they're available at our site, is attune to a weapon. So let's say that there's a weapon you really want to drop. You can bend luck in your favor and make it more likely for that weapon to appear. So for example, I can do that now. Let's do Recluse.
Yeah.
So
Chat seems to be pretty hyped on Recluse.
so if you're looking around, you'll see there's all of these Shaxes everywhere, which we just had an absolute blast working with and coming up with. And once you've unlocked attunement, you can just freely do this at any time. You can change your attunement at any time. You can choose which weapon has a higher chance of dropping. So I'm going to do it now. Okay.
There we go.
Got our thumbs up. We're
Get
good.
the affirmation from Shax. Never hurts.
Yeah, I can always use more affirmations from
It never hurts, honestly. He shouts them very effectively, I might add.
Yes. So yeah, at any point, you can just visit another one. I could even just go and, unattune and reattune to my heart's content. Just once you've unlocked it, you can do that at any time.
Awesome.
So yeah, pick your favorites that you want to chase, and you'll have a much higher chance of getting them.
Excellent. All right. Obviously, the Hall of Champions has a lot in store. There's even more, obviously, chat than is even here, but we see what you're saying in chat. I feel the electricity in the air. I should also note one more thing. You should all go out and farm with impunity to go ahead and get the roles you want, ultimately, because with the arrival of the final shape, we'll indeed be adding 100 more vault slots. So go out there, grab the rolls, grab 27 edge transits, hold on to them until you get a chance to Google which one has the god roll.
Only
All
100
but
though.
We just want to
Only
let you know
100.
that with the arrival of the final shape, you'll be getting 100 more vault slots. So go ahead and dive on in and grab whatever you want to go ahead and chase. Excellent. All right. Well, I think that's a solid tour of the Hall of Champions. I think maybe at this point we go ahead and start diving on in with the Brave Arsenal. Tom, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I'll hop in. Let's go clean out some lost sectors.
There we go. Excellent.
Yeah.
We got some demos to run as well. All right, everyone. So this is as a quick look at the Hall of Champions as well. Now we're going to go ahead and dive on in and look at the Brave Arsenal. Now, Chris, obviously you were intrinsically involved with kind of setting this whole thing up, with building the Brave Arsenal, deciding what was out there.
Yep.
Can you tell us a little bit about, how you guys landed on this iconic set of Destiny weapons for Into the Light?
Yeah, I mean, we all have our own favorite weapons internally, and wanted to make sure that we delivered on a ton of nostalgia for the whole like Destiny 2 weapon set.
Yeah.
If you look on Reddit or Twitter, there are hundreds of weapons that these could be.
Yeah.
Had to narrow it down to 12. It's like we couldn't reasonably fit any more into the activity.
Yeah.
We couldn't necessarily afford to make many more than that.
Here we go.
So it's yeah, a whole set of weapons from across Destiny's history. A few recent ones. Most of them are from
Pulse
earlier.
rifle
Yeah.
blast
So
furnace.
for those who have been terrorized by Blast Furnace and the Crucible, it's back now.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Oh
Yeah,
boy,
honestly,
so
Tom, let's go ahead
exciting.
and just kind of
Most of these
walk
look
through
like they're
these.
going to be
Let's go
kind
ahead
of.
and take us at a hung
There's
jury
the
next as
pistol.
well.
Sure, I can just.
There's the hand
That's
cannon.
well,
That's all I care about. I don't care about blast furnace.
Hung Jury.
Hung Jury though is nice, but I've already got the adept version, so.
For anyone that hasn't had a chance to dive
But
in,
Midnight Coup, there it is.
their hands on a raid weapon as well.
Thank God they're bringing that back. So miss being able to use my Midnight Coup. That is the only thing I care about in this event right now.
You have to own the release that those raids came out in, so you have to own
Succession.
You get Succession, you have to own Witch Queen if you want to get Forbearance.
Yeah.
The Onslaught versions of these weapons, or the Brave Arsenal versions, are available to all players, so you get a taste of what, like,
That's
the
very
raw
cool.
power of a raid weapon.
Yeah.
That
Which
is
honestly,
very
once you
cool.
get Succession in your hands, suddenly everything feels so alive. it's like a ton of bricks. Let's see. We also have, there we go, Midnight Coup. For anyone
Kinetic
who watched last
tremors.
week, thank you, Noah, as well, for going ahead and showing this off.
They
Midnight Coup,
changed it
obviously,
though.
was
It's not the
incredibly fun to
same.
return.
Oh God, it's gorgeous.
Can you adjust it just so it shows the waves in the shader, Tom? There we go.
There we go.
It never gets old, honestly. Harkens back to one of my favorite times in the Black Armory. Excellent. All right, so we have a full list here. So we've gone over all of them in the primary slot. Let's go ahead and move on down to the green ammo selection as well. Obviously, Recluse chat, you've all noticed that. We're just as happy
The
that it's back
Recluse.
as you are. Let's go ahead and take a look at what else we got in store there. Luna's Howl, of course. Actually, in particular with Luna's Howl, I know we were talking about this a little bit earlier, but these weapons are not necessarily their previous estate, just kind of held in stasis, but you guys have brought them forward with new perks. You've kind of done some redesigns as well. With Luna Howls in particular, you were mentioning that the Magnificent Howl perk has undergone a rework as well.
Yeah, in its original shipping form, that was way too strong, because it would let you two-tap a Guardian in PvP incredibly fast with the perk up.
Yeah.
180 RPM. So we've brought Luna's Howl forward as a 140 RPM hand cannon, but it retains the precision frame, so it's super easy to control the recoil.
Yeah.
We've also redesigned the Magnificent Howl perk.
That's
So
pretty
that
nice.
lets you build up stacks of super bullets.
I personally don't like using
Of Hawkman.
Yeah.
energy hand cannons that much, other than like the exotic ones, but
Guardians to do massive damage, you can get a two-tap, but it requires a little bit more effort.
Yeah.
And obviously very strong in PvE as well.
Yeah, got to bide your time and actually land those headshots.
Yeah.
I'm saying that mostly to myself in the mirror as I get upset for losing another round of trials, but
So we had two hand cannons in this release, Midnight Coup and Luna's Howl.
that's right. Yeah.
We assigned those to two different designers.
Yeah.
And there's a competition going on to see which one is more popular or is more effective.
Oh, really? So everyone out there in chat right now should let us know which one of those two ends up being their favorite.
Yep.
We have an actual debt to settle internally here by the sounds of it. Which one do you think is going to win, Chris?
I'm a little biased.
A little biased?
I have my Midnight Coup from the Leviathan raid still in my vault.
Yeah.
I'm
Same here.
really attached to that weapon.
Fair enough. All right. We'll see.
oh, it's my favorite hand cannon. But
Also,
I don't know if it'll be the
actually,
same
that's
now
cool
that they
as
changed the
well.
perks.
This is no longer the Stranger's Rifle. This is Elsie's rifle now.
Yeah, Elsie's no longer a stranger.
That's right, yeah.
But yeah, this is a really iconic Destiny 1 weapon that everyone who played through the Destiny 1 campaign would have acquired as the Stranger's Rifle. It's come forward with as close to its original feel as we could manage, updated for the Destiny 2 sandbox. It's got a ton of cool new traits. It's really very, very strong, high impact pulse rifle. It's running the rewind rounds perk, which we made for Bolt of Glass.
Yeah.
The D2 version, which harks back to the original perks on the Stranger's Rifle in D1 as well.
And this one already looks filthy, if I might say, with Zen Moment and Desperado on there. Like
Desperado, yeah.
Did the room get colder, or what just happened, honestly? And also, too, so there's a new, actually, as long as we're there, Tom, if you wouldn't mind actually opening that back up, there's a new origin trait, pardon me, as well on these.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, the Indomitability trait, Final Blows.
Final blows grenade energy when playing a light subclass, or melee energy when playing a darkness subclass. Interesting.
Melee energy. So you get like that sort of duality, and they're reasonably strong perks.
Yeah, designed to keep you in the fight either way.
Yep.
Excellent. All right, Tom, let's go ahead and keep checking out. What else do we have in store here? Forbearance as well. So this is, you were talking about, obviously, getting that taste of raid weapons.
Yeah.
How did you guys go ahead and bring Forbearance forward also, too, into the light? Like, what did you add new perks into the pool, or what did you guys end up doing to kind of retain that classic feel?
Yeah, so we wanted it to feel like the Witch Queen version, but with slightly updated perks. So the perk pools are fairly similar, but with a couple of spicy additions. So you'll notice Disruption Break left column on a waveframe grenade launcher, super strong.
Yeah.
It's not something that you get on the original version.
It'd be disgusting.
Yeah, but it's got all of the old classics. It's got the new Indomitability origin trait instead of the Soul Drinker trait. And that's the same is true of any other weapons which had already shipped with origin traits.
Yeah. Oh, that looks so good with that ornament on there. And of course, I think was that a limited edition ornament on the Recluse as well that you have over there?
Yep, there's the base and
look at the.
Oh, let's take a look. There we go. That's, again, the ultimate I was there. As you go ahead and begin your showdown with the witness with the arrival of the final shape, doesn't hurt to have one of these sitting on your hip, obviously, to go ahead and make a statement the moment you walk into the room.
Yeah, and this one is the curated version. The natural drops of the limited edition variants do have double
perk up? That's right. Yeah. Excellent. And, of course, our beloved Edge Transit.
Yeah,
couldn't keep it away if we wanted to.
When we were looking at the fan favorite weapons, like we wanted to bring forward some of the strongest weapons from Forsaken.
Yeah.
Everybody has like fond memories of blasting away raid bosses with that transit.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. There's amazing memes associated with this weapon.
Yeah.
We actually brought it forward as one of the strongest heavy ammo grenade launchers.
Yeah, I was going to say, we were talking about that earlier. You're saying this one just hits like an absolute ton of bricks now.
Oh yeah, you can see some of the perks there. It's pretty wild.
I mean, honestly, yeah, this is already looking pretty good. This is one that would obviously find a home in my loadout. My Void one specifically, but I'm also picky about that kind of thing. All right, what else do we have here in this bottom row? The one and only, the Falling Guillotine. Now, actually, one thing that you mentioned—
The Falling Guillotine. Be right back.
As well, that was kind of cool, is this is also going to be probably the first sword outside of those available in Crota's End, I believe, that has sword logic on it as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Roll with sword logic.
Seemed like a great opportunity to put that perk on something that isn't from that raid, and a little bit earlier than we would normally put raid perks onto a new weapon.
Yeah. I'm also going to echo chat here for a second. Is that Eager Edge I see on there?
That is an Eager Edge, yeah. Okay. It'll only be the second sword outside of 30th anniversary.
Yeah.
Have access to that.
It would basically just be the Slammer and then the Falling Guillotine from... Yeah, that's it. That's exciting.
Yeah, and this one has like the classic Void perk combo of Repulsor Brace.
Yeah.
Destabilizing rounds. It's good fun, and a lot of other strong ones.
It just doesn't get old, honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we're also joined by the Hammerhead. Honestly, it's as long as you're dipping your toe into the world of the Black Armory, this is obviously one that has to come forward.
Everyone's favorite legendary machine gun.
Yeah, seriously.
You can't go past it.
It just, from the sound to the rate of fire, everything about it just is one that lives on in my memories and my dream journals, honestly, at this point. Yeah. This is looking fantastic. All right, so we have a whole cast of characters. Now, Tom, you've got some loadouts set up. You've got some lost sectors that you're going to go ahead and start diving in on. I vote you go in there and start tearing it up. So we're already there. Okay, that's fantastic.
The classic Mountaintop Recluse combo here. Yeah. And there's some new stuff with Mountaintop, too, where you can rocket jump.
That's right.
What the hell?
So I'm so glad we got to that point this
early.
Oh my
God.
One of the things that was really cool about sort of seeing this
oh my God, dude.
was, obviously one of the core tenets was to make sure that you're retaining that classic feel of these weapons and kind of what made them so great to begin with. But you've kind of done some redesigns and expanded even just on the loot pool, or pardon me, on the perk pool rather. How did you guys kind of go about the process of sort of rebuilding these weapons for this modern era of Destiny?
Yeah, I mean, we held off on bringing Mountaintop into the sort of modern Destiny because it was just way too strong in both PvP and in PvE.
Yeah.
In PvP, it was like a pretty unpleasant meta when Mountaintop was part of everyone's loadout, so we definitely didn't want it to be able to one-hit kill even with a direct hit in PvP anymore.
Fair.
So we've reduced that a little bit. But we also saw how excited people were for the Danger Zone rocket launcher perk, launching you into the air. So we've made that part of the base behavior of the new micro missile frame grenade launcher intrinsic. Yeah. So we do super low self-damage and give yourself a massive physics impulse.
Yeah. The Team Fortress 2 soldier mains are just suddenly dusting off their rocket launchers in real time right now, obviously. So obviously too is, going ahead and adding just not only to the perk pool, but kind of the intrinsic feel of these weapons. Were there any others in particular when you guys were working on them where you're like, yes, this is how this change needs to go? Like obviously Magnificent Howl got to change, but is there anything else in that pool that feels like it was really kind of a cool leap forward for these weapons?
I think Blast Furnace is a good example because the Black Armory version rolled with scopes, which like everyone would just pick the best scope. Like internally, we felt like the Rasmussen ISA.
You could have just teleported out, but let's run back.
Far the best, really, really clean.
Yeah.
And with the changes to damage fall off on weapons, zoom doesn't matter that much anymore anyway.
Yeah.
So it comes pre-equipped with that scope geometry, but it can roll barrels instead. So you get all the benefits of stats.
Oh, awesome.
Stats are already pretty juiced.
Yeah.
But you have that classic scope geo.
Actually, also too, to channel chat one more time, as a quick heads up as well, these weapons, while they won't be craftable, they are going to be enhanceable, is that correct?
Correct, yeah. So these weapons will retroactively be enhanceable when the final shape comes out. So
interesting.
any drops that you get during this initial period, you'll be able to enhance them.
Excellent, okay. So you want to make sure to really hold on to those god rolls that Light.gg went ahead and told you about, yeah? All right, so Tom, you've swapped your loadout now? Is this Blast Furnace we see you were?
Yeah, you were just talking about Blast Furnace, so I thought I'd hop over to it.
It's thematic, yeah.
Nice and smooth, like it always was.
Kelsey, actually too, on your side, obviously having this new tapestry of rewards to work with has been pretty exciting.
Looks like
as you kind of went ahead and sort of
place with like the easiest enemies in the entire game.
What role did these weapons
so that you can think that these weapons do a lot of damage, but in reality, when you go into like a Grandmaster, you're going to be plucking at people for, minutes just to kill one of these guys with this gun.
I saw people were asking a little bit about what we're going to be getting from Onslaught.
Yeah.
There's a lot of chests in there, and every single chest has a weapon in it, and all of those chests can react to attunement. So if you attune to a weapon, anytime you see a chest, it's going to happen. So
excellent.
Every set, not every wave, that'd be crazy. Every set, there's a chest with a weapon in it. If you do it at higher difficulty, there are 2 chests. They both have weapons in them. And if you keep the ADU alive throughout the entirety of Onslaught, there's another bonus chest available. So you can get a lot if you just keep yourself kicking and get all the way through there, keep the ADU up. There's a lot of guns to be had.
So those folks who are going to dive into the Legend 50-wave version of Onslaught are going to be well rewarded for those efforts.
That's pretty sick. I like that a lot right there.
Partially for myself, obviously, as well.
That gun is nice.
Who might be listening.
Weapons team is really excited about attunement because it gives players some control over the drops that they get.
Not really great for bosses though, because like that's an ad clearing grenade launcher. Definitely not. You wouldn't just sit there and keep spamming it on the guy like.
Too is, you guys are also players of the game.
As it's hitting too much area.
In particular, where it was just your personal favorite that you had a lot of fun
with the playtest. It's not directed enough.
Probably of these weapons, my favorite is Blast Furnace.
Yeah.
With that classic scope and the role that I've got on mine, the role that I'm going to try and get in retail, is Headseeker Kill Clip, which is like just really nasty in PvP.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to. I'll put another few hundred hours.
I'll be right there with you, honestly. The moment I can put Dead Man's Tail down again, then that will be the one that I'll pick up immediately after. Kelsey, also too, is I know we were talking a little bit earlier. You've been deep into the Onslaught playtests as well, so that means in addition to the Brave Arsenal, you've got everything else at your beck and call. What are some cool builds you've been working on, honestly, to go ahead and really emphasize these new weapons?
Yeah, I've been really enjoying. Solar Warlock I found is really fun in Onslaught because you can final lane and just completely nuke it. If you get your like unlimited grenades going, you can just completely destroy. So I've been really partial to Luna's Howl.
Fair.
Yeah, I tend to get a little feral, a little too excited. Sometimes having like kill clip on it or something can give me that extra staying power I need to keep that ADU up.
It's part of, you got to be in the fight as much as you possibly can, and I say that partially as a Void Hunter who crutches on invisibility and runs away right away, so I understand and respect the hustle that I don't end up having. Also too, we got a question from chat from Lil Camino, I think is how you pronounce the name. My mistake if you didn't get it correct. But just to reiterate, will these weapons be attainable after the final shape arrives?
No.
Yes, the base weapons will be, but the limited edition
Oh,
variants
okay.
with those sweet ornaments will not.
Excellent.
Oh
All
shoot,
right, so
I'm
yeah,
not
make sure
too
you go ahead and
fond.
dive on in
The ornaments, all the
once,
differences you're getting is the
Mike
ornament.
here,
It's like
make sure you
that's
get
not that big of a
High
deal.
Slayer card, more or less, at least again.
If you don't get them, then who cares? You still can have the
So
weapon.
also too is,
That's
I
good.
heard you guys mention briefly curated
Ornaments to me
roles
aren't
as
that.
well, 'cause kind of like a
That's
part
not
of
a
the quest,
like
process,
an ornament
which
doesn't
is
make you do
or
more
something.
damage, so it's like it doesn't make any
Thank you,
difference.
That's right. So is this ones that you guys have set up where it's like this is the go-to role? This is from our opinion, like one of our favorites, or what was the process of kind of building those curated roles?
Yeah, we try to deliver something which is like an extremely good role, not necessarily the single perfect role, because we want you to have a reason to go in and get excited for those drops.
Yeah.
But like we would say they're a 70-80% god roll
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah. On the way, certainly.
Yeah.
And also too is remember everyone, we're getting 100 more vault slots once the final shape comes out, so go ahead and just farm away. Now's the time. Sorry, Kelsey, you were gonna say
Yeah,
something
except for
more.
those people
we
that are
also
like
just wanted
already
to make sure people weren't completely
maxed
at
out
the mercy of
and
RNG when it comes to
holy
getting these
crap.
limited edition variants. If you log in, you do those quests at our site, you can get one guaranteed copy of a limited edition of each weapon with that curated role.
Yeah. See, we're getting, again, I think, obviously, Tom is here in the heat of battle, so to speak, but the origin trait, we just got another question about, actually. So for the folks at home, it's Indomitability, or?
Yes.
Thank you, all right. And that one, can you, again, walk through that origin trait for us one more time?
Yeah, so on Final Blows, it grants you grenade energy if you're running a light subclass.
Here we go, we got it on screen.
Yeah, there we go. So yeah, which would be Arc Void or Solar.
Well, I usually run a
Or
light
melee
subclass, so
energy
I'll
if you're
probably be
running
getting
Dark Subclass.
grenade energy then. I wish it was the opposite way.
Go in, there's a stasis main and just
I'd rather have
throw all the
melee
shit that
energy.
possibly
I like to
have.
play.
There's a
I like to play Void.
I'm sorry, I got it wrong.
Sorry, excuse me, Void Hunter. And I like to tether, and then
All right, let's see
I like
here.
to be able to
And also
smoke
too, actually,
smoke bomb all the time, so
you know,
I can
we
quite
talked
viz.
kind of at the beginning about what it was like to sort of pare down this list of weapons down to 12. Can you tell us a little bit about that process? I can't imagine it was anywhere near as simple.
12 is a really small number when you're looking at that set of weapons. And if
Yeah.
we'd gone by lists on the internet or even internally,
Yeah.
could easily have ended up being half hand cannons. We had to restricted ourselves to 2.
Fair.
There were a lot that could easily have made the cut, but we
Yeah.
just couldn't fit them in.
That's right. I mean, honestly, though, between Midnight Coup and Luna's Howl, like a very, very solid cast to go ahead and come out of the gate here with.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really strong. And
They,
yeah, we definitely wanted to get that spread of experience across the first few years of Destiny 2 as well.
Yeah, honestly, and also too is even recalling all the way back to the Black Armory. That's I think a set of weapons that so many of us think back to so fondly. Again, I think one of the goals here was to go ahead and retain that original feel. You guys went ahead and added in a bunch of new perks. Can you tell us what that process was like in terms of making sure those perks matched up with that feel of the weapon?
Yeah, and in cases where we have multiple weapons in the same archetype shipping, so we've got 2 pulse rifles, 2 hand cannons, we assigned those to different designers and made sure that the roles that they occupy in the sandbox was sufficiently different. We also would look at the most popular roles that the weapons had originally and make sure that those still appear on the weapons. It meant having to redesign some perks, which would be too strong in today's sandbox.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But yeah, and then introducing, when you go and you look at a blast furnace in your vault or something, you're like, man, I wish I could roll X perk that came out after that, right?
Yeah.
And made sure we put a few of those in there as well.
Yeah, and there's also, I'm not sure if we've seen it on screen yet, but there's a new perk that'll be joining this pool as well, won't there?
Yeah, there is. There's in this build, it's called Last Stand. The shipping name is different.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a pretty sweet perk. If we could bring up the description of that when Tom is out of danger.
Which weapon is that?
It was on Blast Furnace, I think. Yeah.
Let me
Shot. Oh, there we go. All right, well, we'll let him defend himself
Yes,
briefly.
yes.
But we do have a couple questions from chat as well. So there's one that asks, Flo's Knuckles, I believe. There we go. Can we grind onslaught
Last
multiple
stand.
times,
Final
multiple
weapon,
tracks?
or weapon
I'm
final
assuming
blows
this is
grant
just go
bonus
ahead and dive
damage.
on it.
Melee and grenade final blows grant a
So
larger
melee, you'll
damage
getting,
bonus
getting weapons
that
every
can
run.
stack.
You'll also be getting currency from shacks that you can bring back, and you can throw in that chest that I showed you, so you can just keep opening that chest. So yeah, just keep going.
Dive on it, honestly. Yeah, go ahead and chase that roll, whatever you want. Also, too, one more quick question from chat. Mega125358, pardon me, Mega, asks, can you take the limited edition ornament off and put it on another copy of the weapon, or is it just on that one weapon?
So you can remove it, you can't put it on something else.
Cool.
It's locked to the weapon that it dropped on.
Makes sense, yeah. I mean, honestly, when it looks like that, you just gotta go ahead and stick with what you got, you know?
Yeah, if players have a favorite shader that they want to put on a weapon, they can remove it and put the shader on.
Yeah, that's true.
Can't shade the ornament.
You can go ahead and photo finish it up to your heart's content, obviously, that opportunity. Or super black, obviously, when the time arrives. All right,
It's
Tom,
good
what are
they
you
allow
running
you to
right now?
remove it at least.
I've just been hopping around with all the weapons here now. I've got Blast Furnace and LC's rifle on. I know double primary isn't always meta, but
We're gonna make it meta for the sake of this
they're both pretty
particular lost sector.
solid weapons.
For purposes of illustration.
Now here's that new perk that you both were talking about, Last Stand. On
Again, reminder, this
Blast
name will be
Furnace.
changing in the live version.
Yep.
Yeah, so weapon final blows grant bonus damage. Melee and grenade final blows grant a larger damage bonus that can stack. So once you get this perk really rolling, it's very strong.
Yeah.
Sustain it.
Nice way to go ahead and clear out a bunch of red bars and then take down that yellow bar with ease if
Yep.
you go ahead and do everything correctly.
It ties nicely into the origin trait as well, because the origin trait grants you energy for your abilities, and then you get bonus damage for getting ability final blows.
Yeah.
Last stand is like 6 seconds.
Creates that loop, honestly. You just become
It
a
lasts for
self-fulfilling
6
prophecy
seconds
of death with
each
that.
stack.
Which, as a guardian, is never a bad place
So
to
if
defend yourself, frankly.
you don't kill something within 6 seconds, then yeah, you're gonna be doing
So, yeah,
bonus
also,
damage
too,
for
is,
6
you know, I
seconds
know
at
we
the
touched on
most
on Chris's
for the
personal favorite
boss,
being Blast Furnace.
or the
Jesse, was there
bigger,
anything,
you know,
you
mini
saw
mini
this
boss,
land back on the
whatever
recent
they
White March
whatever
where
you're
like,
doing.
Finally, that one's back.
And by the, I mean,
I'm real excited about when this hell.
I mean, that's just smart, honestly. That just makes sense.
if you get enemies that come in
Tom,
during
how
the
about you? Is
mini
there
boss
anything in
fight or
particular
whatever,
that,
then you
you
can
know,
get it
obviously
stacked
having
up again
taken
maybe,
such a
but
big hand in helping design and sort of define all this stuff. You know, what are your favorite weapons and roles?
didn't look like it showed the stack amount though. Or no, he wasn't doing the melees. He was doing shooting, so he was getting last stance. He wasn't getting the bonus from the melee damage
Like I just
or
love
grenade
that
damage.
combo of being able to like get in close with an SMG and get the damage perk going and feeling really powerful, and then being able to switch to the grenade launcher and fire off some like little mini rockets and be able to play around with getting a little more airborne is just like, it's just fun.
I can already imagine some Strand Hunter doing that above me and then immediately diving on top of me in the crucible.
And I look forward to, like, you know, not accidentally blowing myself up, but it's a lot harder to do now. Like I remember with Mountaintop back in the day, I would just like shoot my feet on purpose and like it was usually like an instant death, and so you can really you get a lot more up close and personal with it.
Yeah, let's see. Fit nicely into a lot of builds. Honestly, I can already see a Tommy's matchbook build with that.
That's pretty cool.
Just floating up there in the sky as a warlock, just murdering everyone. But that is to say, now there's an opportunity for more than just warlocks to be the floating weapon platforms out there in the game. I know, Kelsey. I'm sorry. we can share.
Yes.
We can share the abilities.
Particularly with the redesign of Manticore, there's a fun strategy. I don't know how super effective it is, but
Yeah.
like mountaintop to launch yourself way up into the air.
Yeah.
Switch over to Manticore.
Yeah.
And you can just hover around.
Just seems like a fever dream I had one time, honestly. Also, too, for the folks at home that may not have seen the Manticore kind of redesign, can you tell us a little bit, too, about how the intrinsic perk on that works now?
Yeah, so it's the base functionality of the way you use the weapon is fairly similar. We've tightened up its activation, so it will no longer activate if you're running downstairs and that kind of thing, which is pretty irritating. You can also just deactivate it by holding reload, and it will do that quick special reload animation.
Oh, very nice.
Before you have to wait for it to expire or like switch off the weapon.
Yeah.
And then the catalyst, instead of just giving you damage resistance, now gives you a void overshield, which
Oh, nice.
of course also gives you damage resistance, but
Yeah.
can tie into void builds in a pretty synergistic way.
Very nice, honestly. Yeah, between that, Devour, the whole nine, obviously, there's going to be a lot of mobile weapon platforms.
Survivability is wild. It also decreases enemy accuracy against you, similar to the always on time Sparrow. So
Yeah.
you've got a ton more like damage resistance. You've got an overshield, and enemies are missing you all the time. So it's combined with being able to launch yourself up into the air easily with Mountaintop. It's good fun.
That's also too actually. We got a question from chat that is, what's the difference between the new perk and Golden Tricorn? They sound pretty similar.
They do have kind of similar functionality. The big one is that the Golden Tricorn bonus is large, but doesn't stack once you get it. So the uptime on the new perk, whose name I can't remember.
Yep.
It's not in this book. We changed it. Is that the uptime is higher.
Excellent. Okay, makes sense. Also, too, it's we got another chat as well. Chat question for me, I should say. Will the weapon ornaments for Luna's Howl and the Recluse be equipable for the new versions of those weapons?
Yes, they will.
Oh, awesome.
Both for the base versions and for the variants, you can equip any ornaments that you've got. Players have already noticed that some of those are showing up later in the season.
Yeah.
In the Bright Dust Storm.
For anyone out there that might go ahead and check through the databases, they might have noticed something potentially.
Yep.
Yeah, we can't say yes or no, but maybe. Firm maybe, certainly. Excellent. All right, so we're
Fucking boss is like getting
good job
pushed
here,
out.
Tom, I gotta say, it seems like you're making some pretty good quick work of these lost sectors.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like he's played them before.
Maybe once or twice potentially. You never know.
I did work on EDZ. It's been a while though.
So Tom, actually also too is, as you've kind of been helping sort of build a lot of what Into the Light is going to be, what was the role that these weapons played? Like why is Shaxx choosing now to go ahead and re-equip us with this particular set of antiquities?
And part of the idea is that it's like this forbidden arsenal, right? The things that aren't, that we've kind of set aside, at least in the Crucible and other spaces, and now in this kind of dire time with our backs against the wall, we need to, kind of set aside those conventions and really take every advantage we can in the fight against the Witness, and kind of like having players in this moment with Into the Light, it's a great time to hop in and play if you haven't been playing, or if you want to catch up, and we're going to give you the weapons you need to be ready for the final shape. Like as long as you show up every week, you do the work, you're going to get like an incredible arsenal.
Yeah, particularly if you had been like looking at some of the meta heavy grenade launchers, you can just walk in and get edge transit and like be like competitive already.
Yeah. And also too, I just got word from back at home that also Noah is apparently back at home after last week's stream in chat, cheering everyone on. So if everyone out there wants to give him a quick yeah, great in chat, now's the time. He's listening. Excellent. Alrighty.
I really like auto-loading hoster on Mountaintop.
Oh yeah.
I've got
strong.
I've got a Fighting Lion Pardon Our Dust loadout that obviously hinges pretty heavily on auto-loading holster because I never want to stop shooting any grenades. I'm one of those. I'm sorry, everyone. We're getting some love for Noah in the chat. All right, love to see it. So also too, actually, over the course of developing kind of this new reward structure, was there anything about it where you're like, all right, this is the moment, like Onslaught is set up just right. Like, what was it like kind of building this structure for players to go ahead and just reinvest in, I guess?
Yeah. I think when we finally got the loot explosion going,
Yeah.
there was this whole conversation and how we want it to feel when you open the chest and all this stuff, and all these people working together doing tech stuff to make sure it all worked great and everyone doing their part, and then finally getting in there and just running through and seeing everything just like I guess all of your work just like flying through the air in space was just really satisfying, and it really felt like it was coming together. I'm also really partial to when we start getting more icons and world art.
There we go.
The space really started to feel tangible when Shaxx finally had the guns in his hands in the and all the hollow Shaxxes for a while. They're just like this,
Did you guys have that vision of the hollow Shaxxes like right away? You were like, this is how we want it to be, or was it just, what was the evolution of that space like when you guys were building it?
It was really fun working with world art and all this stuff. We had a bunch of people in the room, everyone who's dedicated to the space in some capacity, and we were just brainstorming together and laughing and coming up with all these fun ideas. So it was a huge collaborative process, and I think that's what's so magical about working in games, is you get to work with all these people who know all these things that you don't, and make something so cool and awesome.
Yeah. Actually, also too, we got one more quick question from chat that caught my eye. Is the Master of Arms perk as powerful as before?
No, it's had to be toned down a little bit.
Fair, yeah.
Yeah, it's still very strong. But yeah, that original version is pretty wild.
Kind of in a league of its own, certainly.
Man. Oh, I love that gun.
All right, Tom. So what's your what's your strat right now? Is it basically just Old West gunslinger?
I mean, I haven't had a chance to play with all these guns either, so I'm just having fun over here. Like you can do your stream over there. I'm just gonna play with Midnight Coup here, which is it just feels so snappy and crispy. Like I just gotta point it in the right direction. It does a lot of the work.
Explosive rounds and kinetic tremors. Is that what it has? Or?
Yeah,
that's right.
Like you can just. You don't even really need to be that accurate, I guess, with this roll. I can just kind of shoot around enemies. And
make them dance like in the Old West.
Pretty sure this is still the highest aim assist of any legendary hand cannon in the game too.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah.
What are some roles, by the way? So obviously, I think they each kind of have their different PvP and PvE flavors. But in the PvE trenches, are there any roles in particular with this new kind of set of perks that you were really caught off guard by or surprised by?
I mean, Firefly Kinetic Tremors is really, really strong. I think that's actually the role that Noah was running last week.
Yeah, he was making it look
I hope they give out some machine gun perks
Yeah.
for the season artifact, because I want to use that machine gun right there for the season. That'd be great.
Cascade point left column.
I think it's time to have the machine guns come back for the season.
Yeah.
A whole drum grenade launcher. It's really strong.
Yeah.
The burst damage potential is wild.
And also, too, actually, another question from chat. To get the double perk rolls on the weapons, do you have to do higher level onslaughts, or is there a chance for them to drop with double perks in each column regardless?
There is always a chance. Those are the limited edition variants.
Yeah. And also, too, just a quick reminder is the quests from from our site, rather. Those ones have a higher chance of giving you one of the limited edition variants, or?
Those give you the curated ones, right?
Yes, those are the curated ones. So pretty much that's a guarantee that you can get them. But anytime you get a brave weapon, there's a chance that it will have the double perks and the awesome appearance on it. So that was actually a really fun thing. Once it kind of got that implemented, playing through the first time, you just naturally got one.
Yeah.
Like you'll be in a playtest and like, oh, I got one. I got a limited edition one. It's just a really fun.
It's kind of even just that excitement of like when you're out there doing a dungeon farm or whatever the case is, and you're checking through all the guns that are sitting in your mailbox, and you're just like, oh, that initial set of rolls is pretty cool, and then you click in and you're like, wait, I can curate this to exactly what I want it to be. Like that moment's always pretty rewarding, honestly. So as a quick reminder to everyone in chat, so the Brave Arsenal will be able to drop from Onslaught at every stage, was it? Every 10 levels?
Yes, every set.
Excellent. Okay, set. Thank you very much. All right. See, we have the experts here, obviously.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be rolling this.
All right, Tom, what's next on the list? Which lost sector?
Be rolling this.
Against your powers.
I think I'm gonna go, and I don't know what it's called, but it's on the top of the little rocks here, I think, right? That's where it's at? I'm trying to remember.
I think so. You just go ahead and drop on down.
Go down.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Those fallen aren't going to be safe for long.
Yeah. Can't die from full damage anymore.
It's true. Who could possibly do that? That's what we have the mountaintop to do, or to use for rather to get those kills on ourselves.
Oh, wrong way. This is the right way.
And actually, also too, so a lot of questions in chat about the pools of perks that are going to be available, the weapons that are going to be available. You and your team over on the weapons team have also gone ahead and authored a blog that will be hitting Bungie.net tomorrow, I believe.
Yeah, that's going to list out all of the weapons and all of the perks that can appear on them. So no mystery about the perk pools as of tomorrow.
Yeah, excellent. So there will be plenty of opportunities for all the build crafters out there to go ahead and go nuts and kind of imagine their most exciting opportunities, really.
The gun was always so good. My gosh, man.
Actually, so also too, we've talked a lot about the Brave Arsenal. Let's go ahead and touch on the parade set again. What was kind of the inspiration behind that set and kind of bringing it forward now? This is kind of like a full circle moment, rather, that I know Tom was mentioning. But why is Shaxx choosing now to equip us with this armor set?
You already did that.
Frankly, wasn't as involved in those kind of conversations.
No, it's okay.
It was actually really
here we go.
Fun. Beautiful. Kind of waiting to see how we're gonna end up looking in the end, because we weren't really sure right away which armor set we were getting, and we were so excited to see him in the chest.
Yeah, it was. I think honestly that first look at them in the key art. Obviously there was an initial glimpse, and it's weird because even as good as they looked, they were almost like everyone was just immediately captivated by Onslaught, immediately captivated by like, is that Blast Furnace in that Warlock's hands? Who knows?
If you're trying to bring back players' favorites, like there is so much nostalgia for that parade armor set.
Yeah.
Bringing that back and updating it a little bit. Like I still run the the parade armor sets on my character from
Yeah.
time to time. So
Gotta have that classic look, obviously.
Transmog, yeah.
And obviously getting a chance to go ahead and chase down Super Black doesn't hurt either.
Looks very cool when you break it out of containment too. Won't say much.
Excellent. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and take one more quick run through. So this, is there anything else actually? So I know we've had a chance to walk through the Brave Arsenal. Tom, in particular on your side, you know, we've gone ahead and kind of gone around the horn over here. Is there anything about this kind of new set of weapons and sort of the role they play in Into the Light that's got you excited about kind of the overall sandbox now that we're going to have available to us?
I'm really excited about a lot of these weapons are they're not god rolls, but they're pretty close to it. Like if you show up every week and you do the weekly quest, you're going to get something that is really pretty powerful. And it's going to be like, for example, just looking at like the hammerhead here, it's got rampage and killing tally on it. That's just incredible.
Never stops
like for PvE, it just never stops firing, right?
Yeah.
Like, and then you're also increasing damage every time you take an enemy out, which is cool. And like I could look at each one of these weapons too, and they like I think we might have glossed over it earlier, but the edge transit with cascade point, like you get a kill and then you can dump the whole mag in like 2 or 3 seconds, which is really powerful. And I think people are going to find a lot of great synergies between these weapons. Like I was even like Mountaintop, Recluse, and Cascade Edge Transit felt great. Like I could like use the SMG while my Mountaintop is reloading, and then like getting kills with those activates Cascade Point, and I could swap over and dump the mag for Edge Transit. And like I could see similar things with Hammerhead and Forbearance, or with Elsie's Rifle.
Yeah.
And then like there's also just some classic weapons here that I really miss, that I'm really excited for Blast Furnace to be back, and I'm excited to see what it does to the meta with these being like relevant in the power game again, and being something that is accessible to players new and old.
Yeah. Someone who spends a lot of time in the Crucible, I'm terrified already. Proctor, thank you very much for all the hard work on that. To you and yours, obviously. All right, so I think we're probably getting to a point now. We've gone ahead and checked out the rewards. We've checked out the new social space. We've checked out the Brave Arsenal. It's probably about time for us to go ahead and start wrapping things up here. Mr. Tom Farnsworth, when you get an opportunity, feel free to go ahead and rejoin us. Relinquish your hold from the throne world, obviously. This is so fast. Your jump ship was right in orbit, wasn't it?
Right here.
I hear it's lovely this time of year out there in the throne world.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's Noah and Kelsey have been keeping it warm for me in there.
That's true. All right, fair enough. Yeah, and again, we can use some sword logic later to expand it when the time comes. But for right now, we've gone ahead and done our job. Well, for starters, thank you all so much for taking time to join us to talk us through, obviously, the Hall of Champions, talk us through the Brave Arsenal, through everything with Into the Light. It's been a great show. So thank you guys for starters for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah, thanks.
Absolutely. And also, too, as a quick reminder, again, to everyone, we'll be back next week, the same Bungie time, same Bungie place, to have another live stream about
10 a.m.
everything.
April
Some
2nd.
more stuff coming with Destiny 2 Into the Light, including some exotic mission, some exotic mission content, and the craftable weapons that'll be available to them. Chat, I saw you mentioning some stuff about that potentially, so come back next week. Also, we'll be going to go ahead and walk through the PvP map pack as well. So if you want to see everything that's going to be coming in those 3 maps, next week will be your time, and there might be a few more additional surprises that we'll have in store for you. Never know. But, and also too, the final thing we're going to go ahead and make sure you close with is, as a quick reminder, of course, with the arrival of the final shape, you'll be able to get 100 more slots in your vault. As you can go ahead and see here on camera, we put it to good use ourselves. We had some edge transit rolls. We knew that this was the time and place to go ahead and slot them on there.
It still says 600,
so we now have those, thankfully, in safekeeping now for the arrival of the witness. Never hurts. All right, everyone. Well, thank you all so much for taking the time to join us today. We'll see you back here next week at the same Bungie time, same Bungie place. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you all Starside.
Well, sweet. All right. Let me go ahead and yeah, I'm pretty excited. That's pretty cool. I am really excited about all the weapons. That sounds pretty fun. I'm excited about Onslaught. I can't wait for next week's stream. I'm going to be doing a summary, so if you are, if you made it this far in the video, then you can look out for that. I'll be doing a summary of this, going into some more deep dive on some of this stuff. some of these additions. But that'll be it for my stream here. And again, you can keep an eye out for the video. Thanks for watching.